In the silent void of space, where eons stretched like the infinite trails of distant starlight, the ancient human fleet stirred from its slumber. For 500,000 years, they had drifted in suspended animation, ghosts of a lost civilization, until the dormant energies of a forgotten gateway near the Andromeda Galaxy ignited a spark of revival. Captain Zara Voss stood on the bridge of the flagship Elysium, her eyes fixed on the panoramic views of swirling nebulae and fractured galaxies. The hum of reactivated engines filled the cavernous chamber with a solemn promise of destiny reawakened. Zara's heart pounded with a mix of trepidation and fierce determination, as memories of a time before silence began to resurface like ripples in a dark, cosmic sea. The bridge was a mosaic of futuristic holograms and relic interfaces, each pulsing with life as ancient systems reactivated one by one. As the first star systems blinked into existence on the display screens, Zara recalled the legends passed down through generations, a legend of humanity's inevitable return, a rebirth forged in the crucible of time. The celestial map unfurled before her, revealing trajectories long forgotten and coordinates that whispered of an old home, scattered among the stars. Around her, the crew moved with a quiet urgency. Technicians hurriedly recalibrated instruments while navigators traced courses through the vast, uncharted territories of a universe that had evolved in humanity's absence. In every action, there was a sense of rediscovery, as if the very soul of the fleet was reconnecting with its ancient purpose. The awakening was not just mechanical, it was deeply personal. Each crew member felt the weight of centuries on their shoulders and the promise of reclaiming what was once theirs. Outside the transparent viewport, the cosmos unfolded in majestic splendor. Distant galaxies shone like clusters of fireflies, and cosmic dust painted trails of light across the interstellar canvas. This breathtaking vista was a reminder that although time had passed in relentless torrents, the universe still held mysteries, beauty, and hope. Captain Voss's mind raced with thoughts of the future and echoes of a bygone era. The soft murmur of the ship's systems provided a meditative counterpoint to the fervor in her soul. As she issued her first command, her voice resonated with authority and passion. "Bring the fleet online. Let every soul know. We have returned." Her words, simple yet profound, were the first notes in a symphony that would redefine the legacy of humankind. In that electrifying moment of rebirth, the human fleet stood poised at the threshold of a new epic. The awakening was not merely an end to slumber, but a herald of challenges yet to come, a journey into the heart of a universe that had long awaited its revival. Beneath the sleek, humming consoles of the Elysium, whispers of a forgotten time stirred as relics of humanity's once glorious past began to reveal their secrets. In the dim light of the ship's ancient archive chamber, Captain Zara Voss wandered slowly among carefully preserved artifacts, crystalline data cores, time-worn maps, and delicate holographic emblems of a civilization long buried beneath the sands of time. Each object, though silent, carried a story, a fragment of a legacy waiting to be reclaimed. As Zara gently touched a relic, a faded medallion inscribed with symbols of unity and hope, her mind was awash with vivid memories. In an almost tangible flashback, she saw the bustling streets of an ancient Earth, alive with ambition and the promise of a new dawn. The voices of her ancestors seemed to echo in the quiet hum of the archive, urging her to remember who they once were and to ignite that spirit anew. Their triumphs and failures intertwined in her thoughts, weaving a tapestry of hope, loss, and relentless determination. The ship's sophisticated systems began to display archived images and records, projecting ghostly, flickering images into the air. Amid these spectral visions, Zara witnessed the grandeur of lost cities and the fervor of historic gatherings, where great minds debated the future of humanity. There were scenes of celebration as breakthroughs in science and art reshaped societies, and moments of quiet introspection where individuals questioned the very essence of their being. The weight of centuries of wisdom and sacrifice pressed upon her, each memory a reminder of the human spirit's indomitable will. In a secluded corner of the chamber, a small, ornate box caught her eye. Intricately carved with the insignia of a long-lost federation, it was said to contain the final words of a revered leader, words that foretold the day humanity would rise from the depths of obscurity. As Zara carefully opened the box, the fragile, handwritten scroll unfurled, and she felt the palpable emotion of a bygone era. The delicate script, though faded, resonated with an almost sacred clarity, urging her to take up the mantle of legacy and lead her people toward a reborn future. Haunted by both the splendor and the sorrow of the past, Zara found herself at a crossroads. The relics around her were not merely remnants. They were the very foundation upon which the future could be built. The echoes of ancestral triumphs and tragedies mingled with the present, creating a powerful impetus that drove her forward. In that quiet moment, she made a silent vow to honor every sacrifice made by those who came before her, to learn from their achievements, and to mend the fractures of history with courage and wisdom. As the chamber's lights dimmed in a ritualistic pattern reminiscent of ancient ceremonies, Zara emerged from the shadows of the past with a renewed sense of purpose. The relics had not only illuminated the path that had led to this moment, but had also kindled the flame of hope that would guide her and her fleet through the darkness of the cosmos. A pale green ribbon of ionized gas unfurled before the Elysium like a curtain drawn back to reveal the heart of creation itself. Captain Zara Voss stood at the viewport, her silhouette etched against the shifting glow of the cosmic veil. Around her, the bridge thrummed with purpose, sensors flared to life, navigation grids danced in fractal patterns, and the hum of ancient engines reverberated through metal and marrow alike. Distance to anomaly? Zara's voice cut through the low chatter, calm but unyielding. Lieutenant Malik, the fleet's chief navigator, consulted the holomap projection. We're 5,000 kilometers from the rift zone, Captain. Gravimetric fluctuations are off the charts, nothing in current databanks matches it. As the fleet edged closer, space itself seemed to warp. Stars streaked into elongated smears of light, and distant nebulae coalesced into ghostly sculptures of color. The rift zone was more than a cosmic phenomenon. It was a threshold between what humanity once knew and the vast unknown that lay ahead. In the observation lounge, Zara joined Dr. Islam Gwyn, the ship's synergiologist, who traced her fingertip along a holographic readout of spectral data. These readings, Islam murmured, eyes wide, they predate any recorded celestial event. It's as if the rift has existed since before our ancestors first charted the heavens. A sudden jolt rattled the Elysium, sending crew members tumbling into secured consoles. Alarm klaxons wailed as gravity dampeners fought to stabilize the ship. Zara gripped the railing, steadying herself against the surge of adrenaline. Report, she barked. Malik's face was pale, spatial distortion intensifying. We're caught in a subspace eddy field shifting faster than our thrusters can compensate. Without hesitation, Zara issued orders that threaded desperation with precision. Power was rerouted to auxiliary thrusters, shields realigned to counteract turbulent field lines, and every crew station shifted into emergency protocols. The bridge became a maelstrom of controlled chaos, a ballet of human ingenuity pitted against the raw caprice of the cosmos. Then, as abruptly as it began, the turbulence ceased. The Elysium coasted into a calm void beyond the rift zone, its systems stabilizing with a collective sigh of relief. Before them lay a sight that stole the breath from Zara's lungs, an enormous crystalline structure suspended in the void, its facets catching distant starlight and refracting it into a kaleidoscope of impossible hues. Is that artificial? Dr. Gwyn whispered, awe-threading her voice. Zara's heart thundered. This artifact, colossal, silent, and impossibly old, was proof that they were not alone in the galaxy, nor were they the first to wield powers beyond mortal comprehension. It was a signal, etched in light and geometry, beckoning humanity toward truths buried for 500,000 years. Open a hailing channel, Zara commanded, voice steady despite the tremor in her gut. Let the universe know we have arrived, and that we are ready to listen. The crystalline artifact pulsed with a hypnotic rhythm, a silent beacon that rippled through the void. As the Elysium maintained its cautious orbit around this cosmic enigma, an unexpected transmission shimmered across the ship's communication panels, a series of ethereal tones and indecipherable symbols that hinted at a language not entirely alien, yet not fully human either. Captain Zara Voss stood at the helm, her eyes narrowing in resolve. Open a secure channel. Let's see who wishes to speak, she commanded, her voice steady yet laced with anticipation. In the quiet that followed, the ship's speakers crackled softly. A figure materialized on the main display, ethereal and enigmatic, a being whose translucent form glimmered with iridescent light. The alien's eyes, deep and ancient, regarded Zara with an expression that mingled curiosity and caution. It spoke in a measured cadence, its voice resonating as if born from the very fabric of space itself. Greetings, descendants of the old dream, the being intoned, each syllable echoing as though from a long-forgotten memory. We have observed your awakening, a rekindling of a flame that once graced the cosmos. I am Solarian, envoy of the celestial concord, stewards of the interstellar balance. The bridge fell silent, save for the subtle hum of systems recalibrating to capture every nuance of this historic moment. Zara exchanged a glance with Lieutenant Malik and Dr. Islam Gwyn, each recognizing that the dialogue unfolding was more than mere communication. It was the delicate unspooling of a fate interwoven with the stars. Solarian, Zara began, her tone respectful yet assertive. I am Captain Zara Voss of the human fleet. We have reawakened after a slumber of 500,000 years, guided here by echoes of our past. We come in search of knowledge, not conquest. What message do you bear for us? Solarian's form shimmered as it considered her words, and for a long, breathless moment, the silence was filled only with the subtle static of distant celestial winds. Your arrival has long been foretold in the chronicles of the Concord, the envoy replied, its voice soft yet powerful. There was a time when all life in the cosmos was bound by a common quest, a yearning to understand, to unite. In your slumber, the tapestry of intergalactic destiny grew frayed. Now, as you awaken, the threads of fate intertwine once more. Dr. Nguyen leaned forward, fascinated. How do we know we are not simply caught in an illusion, a trap woven by time itself? She asked, her scientific curiosity tinged with trepidation. Solarian's gaze seemed to pierce through the digital haze, and with a gentle cadence, the being answered, illusions, fears, and doubts are the shadows that accompany enlightenment. Trust in the veracity of your heritage, for the relics you have preserved carry the truth of your origins. We are here to guide you, not to hinder your journey. But know that the path ahead is fraught with challenges, and the delicate balance of cosmic order hangs in the balance. The dialogue, a graceful dance of words and ideas, slowly build a bridge between two vastly different worlds. As Zara processed the envoy's words, she sensed an undercurrent of both warning and promise, a duality that resonated deeply with her own internal struggle between reclaiming a lost past and forging a new future. Your guidance is welcome, Solarian, Zara replied thoughtfully, but we must also speak as equals. Our people have endured long centuries in darkness, and now we seek to illuminate our destiny with the light of truth and unity. We ask not only for direction but for understanding of the cosmic order, of our own role within it. Solarian's form rippled once more, the light around it deepening in hue as it responded. Then listen well, Captain Voss. For every action, a reaction. For every light, a shadow. The convergence of our fates is no mere chance, but a meticulously woven design by the cosmic tapestry itself. Prepare, for in our next encounter, revelations will be shared, and your journey will truly begin. As the transmission faded, the bridge remained cloaked in a reverent hush. The first contact had been made, a meeting not only of beings from disparate worlds, but of legacies and destinies intertwined by the ceaseless march of time. In that charged moment, as the Elysium lingered in silent orbit around the mysterious artifact, the spark of a grand interstellar dialogue was kindled. A dialogue that promised to reshape the future of both humanity and the ancient custodians of the cosmos. The council chamber aboard the crystalline spire drifted like a shard of light in the void, its translucent walls refracting starlight into prismatic lattices that danced across Zara Voss's uniform. Seated at a semicircular table carved from living crystal, Zara faced an assembly of celestial Concord envoys, each alien presence more alien than the last, slender beings of iridescent skin, floating geometric constructs that communicated through pulses of color, and a solemn triad of stone-like arbiters whose silence spoke volumes. Solarian hovered at Zara's right, its form flickering with restrained luminescence. Across the table, Ambassador Euthrius, a towering figure whose segmented limbs clicked like fine clockwork, regarded humanity's envoy with a mix of fascination and veiled disdain. Captain Voss, Solarian began, voice resonant yet calm, the Concord welcomes your awakening. Yet you must understand, the balance we uphold is fragile. Your return shifts that balance in ways we cannot yet predict. Zara inclined her head, her gaze unwavering. Balance is sustained through dialogue and mutual respect. Humanity does not seek dominance. We seek understanding and our rightful place among the stars. A ripple of static pulsed through the chamber as Euthrius's multifaceted eyes fixed on Zara. Your claim to heritage is unverified, it rasped. Your ancestors vanished 500,000 cycles ago. How do we know your awakening is not a cosmic aberration? Zara's fingers curled around the arm of her chair, her calm facade concealing a tempest of resolve. Our relics bear the proof of our lineage, and our intentions will be measured by our actions, not dismissed by skepticism. Before Euthrius could respond, a low hum echoed through the chamber, the unmistakable signature of a covert transmission. Lieutenant Malik's voice crackled quietly in Zara's earpiece. Captain, unauthorized data packet detected. Possible espionage vector targeting our diplomatic logs. Zara's breath steadied. She masked the tension in her posture and addressed the council once more. Trust is earned, not granted. Allow me to propose an exchange. Share with us the records of the Concord's ancient archives, and we will reciprocate with the knowledge preserved within our own. Solarian's glow deepened, as if contemplating the weight of Zara's proposal. Finally, it spoke. A fair exchange, though know this, not all factions within the Concord share my willingness to collaborate. Some view humanity's return as a harbinger of discord. At that, the stone arbiters stirred. Their deep, rumbling tone cut through the chamber like tectonic plates shifting. Discord is born of weakness, they intoned. Power endures through unyielding order. The air crackled with unspoken threat. Zara met the arbiter's gaze, her voice firm yet tempered by diplomacy. Order without compassion is tyranny. Humanity survived because we learned to adapt, to overcome adversity through unity. A tense silence fell. Then Solarian extended a shimmering appendage toward Zara, its gesture both invitation and challenge. Your proposition is accepted provisionally. The exchange will commence. But heed this warning. Forces beyond our council's purview stir in the darkness. Prepare yourselves. As the council dissolved, Zara rose, heart pounding with exhilaration and unease. Outside the chamber, Malak intercepted her. Captain, the transmission source traces to a Concord substation, not one under Solarian's control. Someone within the council is spying on us. Zara's jaw tightened. Then the storm is already upon us. She gazed out through the crystalline walls into the void where distant stars pulsed like watchful eyes. We'll navigate it, as we always have. Beyond the fragile calm of the diplomatic conclave, ripples of unease began to cascade through the corridors of the Elysium. The ambient hum of data streams, once a lullaby of cosmic order, now vibrated with the urgent pulse of impending conflict. Captain Zaravos stood on the command deck, absorbing the flurry of alerts and reports, each one a harbinger of the storm gathering beyond the human frontier. Lieutenant Malak's fingers danced across holographic interfaces as he mapped the expanding sphere of influence of Overlord Xanthos. Captain, he reported, his voice tight with anxiety, we're detecting mass mobilizations in sectors adjacent to the Concord's territory. Xanthos's armada is converging on our coordinates at a rapid pace. Zara's eyes narrowed, the weight of centuries and destinies heavy upon her. Is it a trap, or simply his reaction to our return? She queried, her tone both commanding and pensive. Unclear, Malak replied. Intelligence from our deep space probes indicates covert operations, sabotage in relay stations, infiltration attempts within our supply lines, and mysterious signals disrupting our navigation. The galaxy is buzzing with tension. The revelation stirred memories of ancient wars and the perilous fragility of peace. As Zara traversed the length of the command deck, she recalled the whispers of her ancestors, a legacy steeped in both valor and sacrifice. The relics of her past had ignited her resolve, but now, the specter of betrayal loomed large. In the ship's strategic war room, a holographic tableau of galactic systems glowed with interlaced lines of conflict. Flickering images depicted scattered human outposts and ominous alien formations, each pulse a silent drumbeat heralding the coming confrontation. Here, debate surged among the fleet's officers, voices rising in urgent symphony against the backdrop of a universe teetering on the edge of chaos. Overlord Xanthos is not acting in isolation, said Commander Lee, a seasoned tactician with a gaze that betrayed countless battles. His reach extends beyond his immediate realm. We're witnessing an alliance forming among factions dissatisfied with the Concord, a rebellion fueled by ancient grievances and a hunger for power. As the storm of revelations intensified, a private meeting was convened in the captain's ready room. Zara, flanked by trusted lieutenants, reviewed encrypted messages intercepted from enemy channels. The information painted a chilling tableau. Hidden warlords, insurgent groups, and rogue elements within the Concord's ranks were all stirring, driven by a shared desire to seize the moment of vulnerability. In that dimly lit sanctum, Zara's resolve crystallized. Our path forward is treacherous, she murmured, voice low yet resolute. We must remain vigilant and united. Trust will be our shield, and the truth of our heritage our sword. Her words were met with silent nods, each face etched with determination and a quiet acknowledgement of the formidable challenges ahead. Outside, the cosmic void bristled with the energy of colliding destinies. The starlit expanse now seemed to hold its breath as if in anticipation of a colossal, unfolding battle. Back on the bridge, as the Elysium maneuvered into a position to intercept incoming transmissions, the captain's gaze was fixed on the horizon of distant galaxies, where the first sparks of war glowed like embers in the darkness. Activate all defense protocols, Zara ordered. Let's show the cosmos that we are not mere relics of the past, but warriors reborn in the crucible of time. In that moment, as the human fleet braced itself against the gathering storm, the vast theater of the cosmos became a stage for an impending war, a war that would test the limits of resolve, unity, and the indomitable spirit of humanity. In the cold vastness of a sector long forsaken by time, the human fleet advanced like a determined tide against an insurmountable wall of opposition. The Elysium led the charge, its hull shimmering with energy as auxiliary thrusters roared to life. Before them, the crystalline relic space station, an ancient fortress of forgotten lore, stood as a silent sentinel, its geometric intricacies hinting at mysteries lost in the annals of cosmic history. It was here that destiny had chosen for the fates of humanity and the alien empire to collide. Captain Zaravas peered at the hollow display that mapped the converging trajectories of two mighty forces. On one side, her fleet of reawakened warriors, an eclectic band of human survivors, each scarred by the passage of millennia yet fueled by a relentless resolve. On the other, the formidable armada of Overlord Xanthos, sleek and merciless warships arrayed in unyielding formation, their engines pulsating with the cold, calculated rhythm of imperial might. "Shields up, all hands," Zara ordered, her voice resonant with the authority of a commander who had seen the edges of eternity. "Prepare for engagement. Today we prove that our legacy is not one of mere survival, but of triumph." The battle commenced with a silence that shattered into chaos, a celestial ballet of light and fury. Laser fire streaked across the void, colliding with defiant energy shields and bursts of incandescent sparks. Explosions blossomed like supernovae against the dark canvas of space, each detonation a brutal testament to the clash of titanic wills. Amid the roaring tumult, Zara's command center pulsed with frantic energy as navigators and tacticians recalibrated trajectories and issued split-second orders. In the midst of this cosmic melee, a slender human corvette maneuvered with daring precision, slipping through enemy lines like a shadow in the dark. Its pilot, Lieutenant Aiko Sato, executed evasive maneuvers that defied both gravity and expectation, drawing the attention of Xanthos's vanguard. In a dazzling display of audacity, the ship launched a barrage of plasma torpedoes that carved a temporary breach in the enemy's formidable defenses. Above the chaos, a colossal alien dreadnought emerged from behind the crystalline station, a behemoth of ancient design adorned with intricate engravings that pulsed with an eerie luminescence. Its presence was both majestic and menacing, an embodiment of a legacy built on domination and unyielding order. With deliberate grace, it fired a salvo of charged projectiles that blotted out entire clusters of human vessels, each impact resonating like a death knell for those caught in its path. In the eye of the storm, Captain Voss maintained her unyielding composure. Her gaze flickered between the tactical displays and the battle unfolding beyond the viewport, where the cosmos itself seemed to tremble at the convergence of two colossal forces. "All units, focus fire on the dreadnought. If we can disable her, the balance may yet tilt in our favor," she commanded. The ensuing minutes stretched into an eternity as human and alien forces engaged in a fierce dance of strategy and brute force. Explosive countermeasures, desperate flares of energy, and moments of near-miraculous survival interwove into a tapestry of conflict that tested every fiber of human resolve. The clash was not merely a physical confrontation, it was a battle for the very soul of a people reborn from the ashes of their past. Above the din, a singular transmission broke through, a voice both familiar and resolute. It was Captain Voss, addressing her fleet with unwavering determination. "Today, we do not fight as remnants of a lost era, but as the vanguard of a new dawn. Let our courage light the darkness and our unity defy the tyranny of time." Her words, echoing across the chaos, galvanized the human forces. In that defining moment, as laser fire illuminated the void and starships danced a perilous ballet of survival, the clash of titans reached its fevered crescendo, a convergence of ancient legacies and newfound hope that would shape the destiny of the cosmos. In the silent expanse beyond the chaos of battle, the void itself became a neutral arena, a stage where destiny and defiance met in the hush before the storm's next surge. The Elysium and its battered allies drifted toward an isolated sector, a region where starlight barely reached, and where the remnants of conflict gathered like ghosts in the dark. It was here, amid the quiet desolation, that Captain Zaravas and Overlord Xanthos were destined to confront one another. Aboard the flagship, a secured chamber was prepared for what was to be a momentous parley. The room was bathed in the soft, pulsing glow of holographic star maps and ancient data streams, a symbolic echo of humanity's long-lost heritage meeting the cold, precise algorithms of an alien empire. Captain Voss stood at the head of a crystalline conference table, her eyes reflecting the flicker of distant galaxies. Every fiber of her being resonated with the gravity of the moment. Before her, the chamber's entrance dissolved into a cascade of refracted light, and from it emerged Overlord Xanthos. His presence was imposing, a figure draped in regal armor that shimmered with centuries of tradition and absolute command. Xanthos's eyes, ancient and calculating, locked onto Zara with a gaze that bore both scrutiny and a measured hint of respect. "Captain Voss," Xanthos intoned, his voice resonant and deep, echoing off the chamber's walls as if it carried the weight of millennia. "Your fleet's valor is undeniable. Yet your return disrupts the delicate equilibrium of this cosmos. Explain to me, why should the lost heirs of humanity dare to challenge an empire that has endured since time immemorial?" Zara's posture was unyielding, a reflection of the countless trials that had forged her resolve. "Overlord Xanthos," she began, her tone firm yet measured, "our awakening is not an act of defiance, but of necessity. We have carried the legacy of a civilization that never truly perished, only slumbered in the hope of one day reclaiming its rightful place among the stars. We seek not to shatter the order, but to restore the balance that has been disturbed by tyranny and neglect." For a long, suspended moment, the two adversaries regarded one another. The silence was profound, a quiet battleground where ideology clashed as fiercely as weapons on the front lines. Xanthos's expression remained inscrutable, yet beneath the veneer of stoic authority, hints of inner turmoil shimmered like distant nebulae. "You speak of balance," Xanthos finally replied, his tone carrying both challenge and curiosity. "Yet your history is one of chaos and fragmentation. How can a people, once fractured and scattered, reclaim unity without ushering in another age of strife?" Zara's eyes flashed with the fervor of her convictions. "History is written by those who dare to overcome adversity," she countered. "Our ancestors faced calamities that would have broken lesser souls. Instead, they persevered, sowing the seeds of hope for future generations. Our reunion is not a return to old conflicts. It is a chance to forge a new path, one where the scars of the past become the blueprint for a better future." The tension in the room was palpable, every syllable exchanged weaving a tapestry of rivalry and possibility. The holographic maps flickered as if echoing the unstable energies of their conversation. In that charged atmosphere, dialogue became more than words. It was an intricate dance of wills, each statement a calculated move in a high-stakes game of cosmic chess. Xanthos's voice softened slightly, the hardness in his tone yielding to a reluctant acknowledgement of Zara's passion. "Your resolve is admirable, Captain. Yet, know this. The cosmos does not favor the unprepared. Should your path lead to discord, the consequences will be borne not only by your people, but by the very fabric of existence." Zara met his gaze, unflinching. "We have braved the silence of 500,000 years in the storm of rebellion. We understand the risks, and we choose to face them head-on. We ask only for a chance to prove that unity can emerge from even the deepest divisions." For several breathless minutes, the room held its balance on a knife's edge. Finally, Xanthos inclined his head, an imperceptible gesture that signified both acquiescence and caution. "Then let our next encounter be the crucible in which the future of our intertwined destinies is forged," he declared. "May the forces that govern our cosmos guide us towards wisdom or condemn us to oblivion." As the holographic displays dimmed and the chamber's light receded into the background, the confrontation reached its poignant pause, a moment suspended in the endless void. In that silence, Captain Zaravas and Overlord Xanthos understood that their meeting was but a prelude to an even greater struggle, one that would decide whether the echoes of humanity's past could herald the dawn of a transformative future. With their fates now inexorably linked, the two leaders stepped away from the table, the weight of their choices echoing in the silent void. The stage was set for the next chapter in the cosmic saga, a chapter where every decision, every spark of rebellion or unity, would resonate across the stars. The void erupted into chaos as the cosmic confrontation reached its zenith. The Elysium and its allied vessels surged forward, their determination igniting a fierce counteroffensive against the alien armada. Explosions blossomed against the darkness, each burst a defiant exclamation mark in a narrative etched in starlight and sacrifice. At the heart of the fray, the crystalline relic station, its ancient facades shimmering with mysterious power, became the battleground where old destinies clashed with new resolve. Human warships danced around the hulking dreadnoughts of Overlord Xanthos, their evasive maneuvers interlacing with audacious strikes. Plasma torpedoes and ion beams collided in a symphony of light and sound, turning the space between stars into a canvas of war. On the bridge of the Elysium, Captain Zaravas maintained a steely composure amidst the storm. Her eyes never wavered from the tactical displays, which pulsed with real-time depictions of vessels dodging lethal arcs of enemy fire. "Focus on the dreadnought's power core," she commanded, her voice resolute and urgent. "We break that, and the tide turns in our favor." Lieutenant Aiko Sato, piloting one of the nimble corvettes, executed a daring dive through a barrage of enemy fire. Her vessel weaved between exploding debris and spiraling energy clouds, each maneuver a testament to human ingenuity. In a heartbeat, she launched a salvo of precision-guided plasma missiles, their luminous trails converging on the dreadnought's vulnerable core. The impact was cataclysmic, a blinding flash that rippled across the enemy formation and sent shockwaves through the fleet. Amid the furious exchange, communications crackled with both static and fervor. "This is Commander Lee on the bridge," came a strained voice over the channel. "The enemy's shields are faltering. Prepare for a concentrated assault." The words galvanized the human forces, sparking a relentless onslaught that surged like a tidal wave against the alien lines. In the midst of the battle, as explosions rippled like cosmic heartbeats, Captain Voss received a crucial update from her tactical officer. "Captain, our intelligence indicates that several enemy vessels are deviating from formation, likely a coordinated attempt at a feint." Her mind raced, formulating a counter-strategy. "Redirect the squadrons to intercept those stragglers. Let them know that every fragment of their force will answer for this day." In the distance, the crystalline station's ancient architecture loomed as a silent witness to the unfolding struggle, a relic of a bygone era whose mysteries had once been revered, now repurposed as the crucible for humanity's resurgence. As the battle raged on, beams of energy collided with the station's surface, igniting cascades of dazzling sparks that illuminated the swirling maelstrom of war. Overlord Xanthos, aboard his flagship, observed the carnage with an inscrutable gaze. In a brief, almost imperceptible moment, his expression shifted, a flicker of grudging respect for the tenacity of these awakened humans. Yet, his resolve remained unbroken. "Let them come," he murmured, his voice low and ominous. "For every defiant spark they kindle, the abyss shall reclaim its due." The human fleet pressed its advantage. With synchronized precision, the combined might of their warships converged upon the beleaguered dreadnought. Waves of energy and guided ordnance battered the alien vessel until its core began to crack under the relentless pressure. A resounding explosion tore through the silence of space, a shockwave that reverberated like the beating of a colossal, sorrowful heart. For a suspended moment, time itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, as the fragments of the dreadnought scattered into the void, a surge of triumphant determination coursed through the human ranks. Captain Voss allowed herself a brief smile, a recognition of the blood, sweat, and unwavering spirit that had brought them to this pivotal juncture. But victory, she knew, was never absolute. The cost of the battle weighed heavy on every soul aboard the Elysium. In the aftermath, amid the smoldering wreckage and echoes of valor, the human fleet gathered in solemn unity. They had fought for the honor of a lost legacy and for the hope of a future yet to be written. In that moment of both celebration and mourning, Captain Zara Voss addressed her weary yet resolute crew. "Today, we honor the sacrifices of our ancestors and the courage of every hand that fought. Let this victory be a testament. Humanity will not be forgotten, nor will we be silenced by the darkness. Our legacy, reborn in the heart of battle, shall light the path to a new dawn." The cosmos, scarred yet vibrant with renewed hope, bore witness to the battle, a chapter in the saga of humanity, forged in the crucible of conflict and destined to echo through the annals of time. In the fragile silence that followed the relentless maelstrom of battle, the cosmos began to exhale, a deep, resonant sigh of both grief and hope. The shattered remnants of enemy warships and the glowing embers of the crystalline station testified to the fierce struggle that had reshaped the fabric of destiny. Amidst the lingering haze of stardust and echoes of lost souls, Captain Zara Voss stood on the bridge of the Elysium, her gaze fixed on a future both uncertain and luminous. The battle had not ended the conflict, but it had opened a path forward, a promise of reconciliation and renewal. As the human fleet slowly regrouped, ships weaving in and out of ancient orbital lanes, Zara surveyed the damage with a solemn pride. Each scar on the hull of a vessel, each flicker of repair work ignited by determined crew members, was a testament to resilience and the enduring spirit of humanity. Communications channels hummed with cautious optimism. Diplomatic emissaries from dissenting factions within the celestial concord began to reach out, their voices softened by the shared cost of war. In these delicate negotiations, words became the bridges that spanned the chasm of distrust. Captain Voss knew that beyond the immediate conflict lay the vast potential for an interstellar alliance, a coalition that could mend the fractures of a cosmos worn thin by tyranny and old grievances. In a grand assembly aboard the newly fortified Elysium, representatives from both sides gathered under the glow of reconstructed holoprojectors. They discussed not only reparations and ceasefire terms, but also the merging of ancient wisdom with the newfound legacy of a reawakened people. The air was charged with both cautious anticipation and the fragile hope that from the remnants of shattered legacies, something transformative might emerge. Zara addressed the assembly with a measured tone, her words resonating like the deep chords of a long-forgotten anthem. "We have witnessed the price of discord, the ravages of prolonged enmity," she declared. "Today, we stand at the crossroads of our collective future. Let us choose unity over division, cooperation over isolation. The legacy of humanity is not one of destruction, but of rebirth. It is our duty and our destiny to forge a future where the light of understanding eclipses the shadows of our past." As agreements were inked and promises whispered across cosmic distances, the stars themselves seemed to twinkle with a new sense of purpose. The void, once a vast expanse of indifferent darkness, now pulsed with the possibility of collective renewal. Amid this interstellar renaissance, the human fleet began charting a new course, one that would see them not only reclaiming their long-forgotten heritage but also contributing to a harmonious future among the myriad civilizations of the galaxy. Outside the viewport, the endless tapestry of galaxies stretched before them, each luminous cluster a beacon of infinite stories yet to be told. Captain Voss allowed herself a moment of introspection, her heart buoyed by the realization that every ending was also a beginning. The scars of war, though deep and painful, had given way to an era where dialogue replaced discord and hope triumphed over despair. With renewed resolve, the Elysium set a course toward uncharted regions, territories rich with the promise of discovery and the forging of new alliances. The legacy of the past, woven through centuries of struggle and triumph, would now serve as the cornerstone for a future where every voice could contribute to the grand, interstellar symphony of existence. In that profound moment of transition, as the human fleet sailed into the luminous unknown, the final words of their journey were etched into the stars, a declaration of rebirth, unity, and an unwavering commitment to shape a destiny filled with promise and light.